Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm in the studio. I'm live. So get involved in the chat and the comments. We're going to be talking about all things Manchester United related, including, of course, Carlos Baleba. We are Carlos Baleba TV at the minute. It is all about the Brighton midfielder and whether he is going to come to Manchester United. But we've got other stories as well, some potential outgoings. What's going on with Garnacho? What's going on with Jadon Sancho? We'll be getting into all that. So make sure you are hitting that like button. Let's just get into it straight away. Apologies for the delay. Let's get into the Carlos Baleba news then. Fabrizio Romano tweeted, when was this? Last night. Man United keep working on Baleba deal. Sales, Garnacho, Anthony Sancho could be key for higher bid. Initial approach to discuss with Brighton ready. Deal difficult. Brighton Hove Albion want to keep and eventually sell in 2026. Carlos is keen on the move. So that was last night from Fabrizio Romano. I think we've had a little bit more of an update this morning. So this is from Samuel Luckhurst in the Manchester Evening News. So he says here, Carlos Baleba is unlikely to remain at Brighton for the long term amid interest from Man United in the Cameroonian. Goes on to say, if we can scroll down a little bit, that we are prepared to delay a move for Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba until next year. Says United have not completely given up on signing the 21-year-old before the transfer window closes on September the 1st, but senior sources concede a deal is unlikely. Then goes on to say, external sources have suggested a deal this summer is too difficult. Baleba is under contract at Brighton until 2028 with the option of another year. And the club sold midfielder Moses Caicedo to Chelsea in 2023 for a then British record 115 million. I mean, it does feel like we're at this sort of juncture now, doesn't it, where it could go one way or the other. It could go for a deal before September the 1st, or it could go next season. I've always advocated getting him done now because I think it is the great unknown next summer. Because once you get into next summer, at the minute, Manchester United seems to be the only club really in for Carlos Baleba. You could get to a position next summer where City decide they need a new midfielder. The Scousers decide they need a new midfielder. Arsenal might decide that Zubamendi hasn't worked out or whatever. They want a new midfielder. You could end up in a bidding war where you get priced out of it. You could. Now, you can argue the counterpoint. Well, you might not do, Jay. Okay. But why risk it? If we can get this deal done now, get it done now. And I know it's not easy, and I know the fees are or the transfer fee is quite high, but just sell a load of players. Manchester United must have an idea of how to get this deal done. As why brief everyone that you're in for him? Why try and get it done if you can't get it done? And Manchester United this summer have moved for players we can get. I'm just impatient, maybe, transfers. I don't want to wait a year. I want them now. Let us know what you think. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Belal Titanium MUFC says we need to do this deal. Abinam Verma, come on, Universe. Listen to Adam McCullough for once. I know. Oh, I'm not going to say that bit. He says basically McCullough's right. I think McCullough was saying that we can get that Baleba is going to get done. Sorry. Santa Knox says 2 and a bit more weeks left to sign anyone. Yeah, we are getting towards the end of the transfer window, but it's not done yet. Let's talk about Baleba a bit more. Ben Jacobs, I think, said, Fabian Hürseler says he's very, very confident Carlos Baleba will stay at Brighton this summer. Yeah, the Brighton manager asked about it. He says he expects him to stay. That doesn't mean it's over. We've heard managers say that before. I've heard managers say that about all potential targets. Almost any target that's ever been linked with anyone, the manager has said, well, he's not going anywhere, or I'm confident we can keep him. However, things can change. It's obvious. Manchester United need to come up with the cash if we are going to get Carlos Baleba, and we need to be close to the £100 million mark. It's that kind of fee. Whether it's more than that, or whether it's the same as that, or whether it's a little bit less, whether it goes up to that with add-ons, I don't know. But I feel like that's a sort of starting point for Brighton, and that's what Manchester United have to be thinking about in their head. I don't think a £70 million bid or even a £75 million bid will necessarily get the deal over the line. I think it is going to have to be close to £100 million. Maybe it's £80 million in add-ons or £90 million add-ons. I don't know, but it does feel as though that is going to be the figure that is going to make Brighton listen to us. Let me know what you think. Sink Veer says Morten Hojlund is a good option from Sporting as a backup CDM. I saw a few stories reporting that, but I think they emanated from the Sun. # don't buy the Sun as an alternative. But I think we might have there might be something in that maybe, but I'm not going off just one report from the Sun. I don't know though. We'll have to wait and see. I know I'm contradicting myself slightly there, but we'll have to wait and see just how determined Manchester United are for Baleba, because we are that determined it's all about Baleba, then we won't have an alternative. Right, let's talk about Jadon Sancho. Roma have submitted an official bid to sign Jadon Sancho, according to Romano. The Serie A side have offered 20 million to United for the 25-year-old services. Look, I'd take it. I know it's a £53 million loss. Get him off the books. Get him gone. He doesn't want to be here. We don't want him. We're not going to use him. Just sell him. The question is, will he go to Roma? I don't know. I just think he's been a disastrous signing for Manchester United for a multitude of reasons. Probably one of our worst ever signings. I don't think he's one of our worst ever players. He's a very talented young lad, but his heart's not in it. His heart's never been in it at Manchester United, and he's not really done a lot in a red shirt. He didn't perform under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He didn't perform under Ralf Rangnick. He didn't perform under Erik ten Hag. He actually fell out of him, was tweeting about him, and he hasn't performed, or he isn't fancied by Ruben Amorim. Just get him gone. Honestly, I just don't see the point in playing hardball to try and keep Jadon Sancho, or trying to get 25 instead of 20. Just sell him, man. Seriously, I've had enough. M. Sultan said it's not 20 million straight up that they're offering. It's a loan deal with an obligation to buy anything. Just honestly, I've got fatigue with Jadon Sancho. I really have. I know we should be trying to get at least a little bit for him, but it just feels like it just feels with Jadon Sancho, it's just a circus. That's how it feels. It's just, I just feel like it's a bit of a disaster, to be honest with you. And just getting moved on. Abhinav Verma says, Roma, we want Sancho and we will offer United. We will offer United, hold my beer. You had me at offer. You got him. No take-backs. Yeah, we can just say, what you want him? Right, he's yours. You got him now. There, it's all agreed. Right, let's talk about a new update. What is this on Jadon Sancho? Is this Romano? So Romano said, Roma are still waiting for Jadon Sancho to give his green light to the move. United prepared to accept Roma's 20 million bid for Sancho, but waiting for Sancho's decision. Jadon open to discuss since earlier this week, but still working on personal terms. His wages are quite high. Manchester United gave him a massive contract when he arrived, £275,000 per week. That is going to be a sticking point. We'll have to wait and see. Let's talk about Rasmus Hojlund. So here, this from the Mail. Premier League club weigh up move for Man United flop Rasmus Hojlund, but seek assurances that he wants to join them. So it says Fulham are showing tentative interest in Manchester United striker Rasmus Hojlund. The Cottagers, which is such a fantastic name, are weighing up a move for the Denmark international as Rodrigo Muniz is the subject of bids from Atalanta. Milan have been in talks with United for Hojlund and have offered 4.5 million loan fee with an option to buy for 39 mil. However, Hojlund has been digging in his heels, saying he wants to stay and fight for his place, despite Benjamin Sesko arriving for 73 million as part of a new look £200 million front line. Fulham would need to know Hojlund wants to come before making a suitable offer. So far, Hojlund is backing himself to still make a contribution to Ruben Amorim's squad and to be ready regardless of whether Sesko fails to hit the ground running. Mace11 says, Jay, how much would you take for Hojlund? Good question. I'd take 40 million for him. I think we could get 40 million for him. I know he's not had a good season, but he has scored, is it 12 Premier League goals in his first season? Something like that. Was it 17 goals in his first season at United? He's still only 22. There's a player there, you know. It might not be a Premier League player, or it might not be a top-level Premier League player, but there is a player there, and I think he could go back to early and he could do a job. And I think maybe at Fulham, if he's got the right support, if the crowd are behind him, if he gets the right service, he could end up doing a very good job for them. And also, at 22, if they spent 40 million on him, and he does, even if he does all right, they could probably get that money back. So, yeah, I think United should be pushing for 40 million for Rasmus Hojlund. Let me know what you think. Strikers are in short supply, and he did have a bit of a bad one last season. But even a bad one last season, didn't he get double figures in all comps? It wasn't a complete and utter disaster. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I don't quite think he's good enough for Manchester United, but I think he could do a job elsewhere. Brian Casey says, I'd take a bag of flame-grilled steak macons and a bottle of cherry Coke. It's all about Pepsi Max Cherry. Talk about Alejandro Garnacho. 3 Champions League clubs rejected chance to sign Alejandro Garnacho from Manchester United. This is from Luckhurst again. If you scroll down, it says 3 Champions League clubs. Yeah, we know that. Sorry, keep going. Arsenal, Spurs and Atletico all did due diligence on Garnacho before deciding to explore other options to reinforce their attack. Right, for starters, that's so dumb. I don't know where to start. Because what does that even mean? They did due diligence on Garnacho before deciding to explore other options to reinforce their attack. Were we ever really going to sell into any of those clubs anyway? Was that really likely to happen? No, it wasn't, was it? I mean, I'm not really bothered about that. Also, Atletico, I know we bought him from Atletico, but it just feels a little bit like, it just feels a little bit stupid, that one. Nurse Sarer says, if the Baleba deal is delayed till next summer, who do you think we can sign for this season? We are linked with Hojlund again today. I just don't know if United go out and spend around 50 million quid for this season and then go and spend 100 million for Baleba next season. I think we'll probably stick with what we've got for this season and then go for him next season. That's my thinking. Let me know what you think. Let's talk about Mbeumo. I love Bryan Mbeumo. Mbeumo excited by Cunha and Sesko. So am I, Brian. Manchester United forward Bryan Mbeumo says he's excited to work with fellow new senior summer arrivals Benjamin Sesko and Matheus Cunha. Mbeumo, who arrived from Brentford in July, will be hoping to make his Premier League debut for the club against Arsenal on Sunday in our first competitive outing of the new campaign. So what's he been saying? He says Cunha is a really good player. It's good that we could share some training sessions on the pitch together because it's always important to have good automatisms. Do you know what? I genuinely don't think I've ever said that word before in my life. Bryan Mbeumo is so good. Even his vocabulary is mint. In the team and a strong link in front. We've been doing some striker work, some forward work. I think we still have some freedom up front, but there are some principles to respect. I don't expect anything in terms of playing positions. I think obviously it's going to be the manager's choice to play the players. Obviously, I think it's important to be able to play different positions. So I'm going to be playing wherever I can. I mean, yep, he's saying the right things, isn't he? He's doing the right things. I mean, I love Bryan Mbeumo. I love everything about him. I wanted him at Manchester United. We've got him at Manchester United. I think our front three is looking very, very tasty. Can we get away with? Can we get away with the midfield we've got? I don't know. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. When I say get away with it, I'm not trying to slag off the midfield we've got. I mean, in terms of United getting right to the top. Let's be honest, right? We're United fans. We want to be challenging for the title. We want to be challenging for Champions Leagues. I know we've got to get in the Champions Leagues first and foremost. So when I say, can we get away with it? I mean, is this midfield good enough to do those things? Probably not, as it stands. But if we had a Carlos Baleba, we can get there. And also the midfield we've got right now, I think we could still challenge for at least European places. It's not like Kobbie Mainoo's a bad player. It's not like Manuel Ugarte is a bad player. It's not like Bruno Fernandes, for example, is a bad player. It's just those combinations don't quite work. We need someone with a bit more energy and legs in that midfield. That's the reason I'm so keen on Baleba. It's not that I don't think we've got good midfielders. It's just I don't think the combination quite works. But I certainly think the front three works. I certainly think the back three works. It's only the goalkeeper and the midfield I've got slight reservations around if we are going to get to the very top. You'll have seen that with my Premier League predictions when me, McCullough and Joe Smith spoke yesterday. I'm going to leave it there. A bit of a shorter one today. We're going to be back later on today. We've got the brew obviously coming up. The preview's already up. Our Premier League predictions already up. You've got transfer review coming up as well. So don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. I've been Jay Moy. This has been The Paper Talk. Thanks for watching.